Okay, EDU 146 students, we're glad you are back, and we are now going to look at the third level of the pyramid, which is social emotional teaching strategies. Now remember in Module 1 we talked about the importance of building positive relationships and designing supportive environments, which included rules, schedules, materials, and activities to support children's social and emotional development and prevent challenging behaviors. So now we're going to continue to build on these ideas by discussing the use of effective strategies, ideas, and resources to help teach children social emotional skills, such as friendship skills, emotional literacy, development of empathy, impulse control, and problem solving. So that's what we're going to tackle next. We're going to skip through a few of these slides to just kind of make sure that we look ahead and not spend too much time on things that are not going to be helpful for us at this point in time. This slide shows the key social emotional skills children need as they enter school. They need confidence, they need capacity to develop good relationship with peers and adults. They need to be able to concentrate and persist on challenging tasks. They need the ability to effectively communicate emotions. They need the ability to listen to instructions and be attentive. And they need the ability to solve social problems. So what do children do when they don't have each of these skills? I'm sure if you are working with children in a classroom and they do not possess some of these skills, what do you see? What do you notice in those children? And you might notice some very specific challenging behaviors. You might also notice that they may be quiet or withdrawn. So how do we help children learn these social emotional skills? Well, we have to teach them. We'll be discussing how to teach the key social and emotional skills that are needed by children. It's important that we focus on teaching rather than managing or punishing behavior. In the pyramid model, social and emotional competence is promoted and challenging behavior is addressed by teaching children important skills that they need to have. Now that we've discussed why it's important to teach social emotional skills, we're going to talk about when during the day we might teach these skills. One typical situation that might happen in a classroom or a child care center might be this. Trey is building a castle in the block area. Blair comes along to the block area to play, and she decides that she needs a block that is right in the middle of Trey's castle. Blair grabs the block and Trey's castle crumbles. Trey then hits Blair and takes the block away, and Blair starts crying, and that's where that red arrow is. Now, what are some ideas teachers or child care providers might say to Trey and Blair at this point? Perhaps they would say, use your words, hitting's not okay, say you're sorry, ask nicely if you want something, get an adult if you need help, or maybe just calm down. It's often at the crisis point, at the red arrow, that teachers try to teach new social skills. Now, while this is a teachable moment and can be a social skills lesson for Trey and Blair, this might not be the most effective teachable moment because, first of all, the incident has already happened. Secondly, both children are upset at this point and are maybe even hysterical and won't listen to what you have to say. Thirdly, Blair may find the teacher reinforcing, wow, I might do this again so I can get the teacher's attention. So some effective teachable moments might be way back there, so we really don't want that to be the most teachable moment, but maybe back there at the green arrow. Social skills can be embedded throughout the day and into almost any part of daily schedule. We need intentional, planned times as well as taking advantage of naturally occurring moments throughout the day. The main point here is that we want to make sure that these crisis moments are not the only time that we are teaching social skills. And besides, those crisis moments may not be the best time for a teachable moment. But if we could go back here prior to the big incident, when we notice and are observing in the classroom and we notice, okay, something's going to happen if Blair grabs that block that she wants out of Trey's castle. At that point where she starts to grab it or she has grabbed it and Trey's castle begins to crumble, we should intervene at that moment before Trey is able to hit Blair and take the block away and Blair start crying. So if we could at least be observing and seeing where there might be possible moments of some conflict, if we can watch for that, we might be able to have a teachable moment prior to big. As we think about when to teach social emotional skills, we also need to consider stages of learning that should affect how we teach these skills. The stages of learning can be described as show and tell, which is the early acquisition stage when children need a skill explained and demonstrated. Practice makes perfect, which refers to the need to having many meaningful opportunities to practice and build fluency. And then you got it stage that describes the stage of learning when a child knows the skill well enough to use over time and in new situations. They're able to apply it. So let's look at each stage. The acquisition stage is when children learn how to do something new. They acquire new skills or concepts. To support children's acquisition of new skills, we need to explain and demonstrate the skill or concept and encourage children as they attempt to learn the skill. Skills can easily be lost at this stage, so we need to encourage, and then encourage some more. Then there's the fluency stage. Once children acquire a new skill, they need to be able to use the skill proficiently or fluently. We need to provide multiple opportunities for them to practice and master this skill or concept, as well as prompt children to use their new skills in new situations. And then there's the maintenance and generalization, or you got it stage. Once children are fluent with their new skills, they need to be able to use the skills or maintain the skills without support or prompting from an adult. When children apply their new skill to new situations, people, activities, and settings, they demonstrate generalized use of these skills. For example, a child might learn a new skill at childcare and then generalize the skill, that same skill, by using it at home in a different setting. Or a child might learn a new skill with a grandparent and generalize it by using it with their aunt, so with different people. So each learning stage requires intentional, purposeful planning on our part as the teachers. This means that we need to plan when, during our daily schedule, we will teach new skills in order for children to have opportunities to acquire those new skills and to become fluent with those skills. But we can't stop at that point. We also need to continue to plan opportunities for children and, of course, encourage them to practice using their new skills throughout the day without us so they can show maintenance and generalization, or you got it. Being more aware of supporting learning also tunes us into being purposeful and direct, as well as not missing opportunities to encourage children when they are spontaneously learning and using their new skills. We want to take advantage of both planned and unplanned opportunities. So we're now going to focus on the what and how to teach part. We will spend the rest of this few minutes here we have together discussing teaching strategies and ideas, or the how, for promoting friendship skills, emotional literacy skills, development of empathy, ideas for controlling anger and impulse, problem-solving skills, or the what. Now we won't get to all of those today, but hopefully we will be able to touch on those at a later time. And you will get to watch a video later of seeing some of these great strategies and the hows and whats in a moment. So when we consider social emotional teaching, we need to focus on how we will promote the social and emotional competence of all children in the classroom and how to provide individualized instruction in key social and emotional skills that might be needed by a specific child. Often teachers provide whole group lessons to teach all children, but then they don't provide individualized instruction, which is so very important. So individualized instruction is used to ensure that children who have social or emotional skill delays receive systematic instruction on those important skills. Often these are children who are at risk of developing severe behavior challenges. To provide individualized instruction, the teacher must first identify the skill that will be taught and then provide systematic instruction on the skill throughout the day. So hopefully you'll be able to have some opportunities to do that with specific children in your classroom or the classroom where you are volunteering, that you might be able to just kind of help develop some systematic skills in a specific child who might need it, maybe the child that you're working for your research project. So the next thing I would like for you to do is to please view the next video to get practical strategies for supporting social and emotional skills. You'll love some of these wonderful practical ideas. So enjoy that next video. Now from here, what I want us to do, before you go watch that video, I just want to go over the assignments that we have in our class under Module 7. Please make sure you read Module 7 book carefully and then answer the discussion forum on challenging behavior. You're going to have your second teacher interview, which is going to be interview a preschool teacher of 3 to 5-year-olds or a public school teacher of children ages 5 to 12. And it can be the teacher that you're doing your volunteer service in or another teacher in the center that you are working. Use the following questions as a guide. You may add any other relevant questions. Include the questions and answers as well as your response to the interview, which is your little reflection at the end. So use the following questions as your guide. What experience have you had? How does the children's social emotional development relate to their behavior? What are children's challenging behaviors? What do you think causes these behaviors, and how do you manage these behaviors as the teacher? Do you think your management techniques are effective? What would make your techniques more effective, and how do families assist you in preventing and responding to children's challenging behaviors? Now, make sure that you also then give a reflection at the end about your interview. Also, make sure you fill out this checklist of interview techniques and upload this as well as the answers to the questions and your reflection about the interview. So make sure you have both documents uploaded. Okay? Then the next thing is your scripted story video. Now, this again is a video, and this I put in Kaltura, so hopefully you'll be able to go in and upload your video right here in this section. So scripted stories are for social situations to help children understand social interactions, situations, expectations, social cues, the script of unfamiliar activities, and or social rules. As the title implies, they are brief descriptive stories that provide information regarding a social situation. When children are given information that helps them understand the expectations of a situation, their problem behavior within that situation is reduced or minimized. So create your own scripted story of a social situation you've observed in children ages 3 to 8 years, or use one of the scripted stories on the CEFA website. Print out your chosen scripted story, color it, laminate it, bind it, then use the scripted story with the children in your classroom or your volunteer classroom. So I'm going to go to the website and show you where I'm talking about. So down here are the scripted stories for social situations. So here's one about I go to preschool and how to act in the car. I can be a super friend. I can use my words. I go to preschool on the bus. What do we do in circle time? I can stay safe. And then again, here's the turtle. A Tucker turtle takes time to tuck and think. So you could use one of these scripted stories as your particular book that you're going to make. And I'll just show you one of these. I can use my words. Okay, so this is in a PowerPoint format, but you will actually run off these sheets of paper, run these off, make it into a book. And this one doesn't look like you need to color it. It's already colored, but you would actually make it into a book, laminate it first before you bind it, and all of that. But here it goes. Can I have a turn? You took my piece. I don't like that. So sometimes I forget to use my words. I can use words with pictures, with written words, or by talking. When I use words with people, they can understand what I'm saying. Can I play with you? Sometimes I have something I can't have, but it may be a choice later. When can I use this? After lunch when we come back outside. Can I have a turn? I can use my words and ask, when can I use this? Everyone is happy when I use my words. I can use words to tell people how I feel. I say, I am mad, or I don't like that. My family and my teachers can help me remember to use those words. Say, I need help, or say, all done. I can use words to ask for help. I can say, help me please. People can understand me better if I use words. Can I play? Can I see too? You took my piece. I don't like that. People can have a hard time listening to me when I whine and scream. Whining and screaming can hurt people's ears. When I whine, scream, or cry, people around me get angry or upset. Everyone's happy when I use my words. So there's a little tip on how to use this and what you can do to help children as well. Okay, so you're going to make your own. You can use one of these, but again, if you've noticed a social situation in your classroom and you want to make your own, and I have had students in the past make their own, and that's been very fun to see some of their creative energies coming out in their scripted stories. So in review, choose one of the scripted stories given on the CEFL website, or create your own book that includes a social situation that may be occurring in the classroom. Run off the book, glue on construction paper or cardstock paper, color it if needed, and laminate it by either paying for lamination at CCR in our resource library room, or making an appointment with me to use our laminator at BRCC free, or by using clear contact paper. Now, I would say that laminating looks so much better than contact paper, so you might try to make sure you use one of those. You must then videotape yourself presenting the book to the children in the classroom. Use a camera that has video capabilities, or an actual video camera, even your cell phone. If you do not have access to a device for videotaping, please make an appointment with me to come by and borrow one of our devices. So, again, go to the CEFL website if you want to use one of theirs, or create your own. Now, when you go to actually submit this, mine is on the instructor view, so you can't see it, but you'll see where you can actually upload a video right here in this assignment area. Now, the best thing to do is make sure you download what you've done onto your computer first, and then upload it into this assignment area. Don't try to upload it from your phone or from a camera. I don't think that would work. So just try to download it on your computer. That's it for this module. Have a great one.